Welcome everyone to our 5th annual Veterans Appreciation Ceremony. Would you please stand and remove your hats while the Springfield Naval Operations Support Center presents our colors, and Ann Ferguson, our Lane Community College student, will sing the national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the
About face, detail, present, on, post, color. Shoulder, on. Ready, 2, right, face, on, forward, on.
All right, please have a seat. And thank you, Ann, and thank you, Springfield Naval Operations Centers. So in 1919, President Wilson commemorated Armistice Day, and in 1938, the government and Congress has made it into Veterans Day, and that's why we're here today, to honor our veterans. And in that, President Wilson said, "To us in America, the reflections of Armistice Day will be a day filled with solemn pride and for gratitude." So my name is Greg Holmes. I'm the finance officer here at Lane Community College, former United States Army and Oregon Army National Guard. And while we're here to honor our current veterans, we want to take a time to honor those who aren't here with us today. And to do that, I'd like to welcome up Art Morris, 21 years with the United States Air Force, retired, currently a Lane Community College student and student leader, to discuss those who cannot be with us. Art?
As you entered the ceremony this morning, you may have noticed a small table in a place of honor. It is set for one. This table is our way of symbolizing the fact that members of our profession Sorry, this is kind of an emotional thing for me. This table is our way of symbolizing the fact that members of our profession are missing from our midst. They are commonly called prisoners of war, missing in action, or killed in action. But we all call them brothers and sisters. They are unable to be with us today, and so we remember and honor them. The table is round, showing the everlasting concern for our POWs, MIA, and KIAs. This table is set for one. It is small, symbolizing the frailty of one prisoner alone against his oppressors. Remember. The tablecloth is white, symbolizing the purity of their intentions to respond to their country's call to arms. Remember. The single red rose signifies blood they may have shed in sacrifice to ensure the freedom of our beloved United States of America. This rose reminds us of the family and friends of our missing comrades who keep the faith while awaiting their return. Remember. The yellow ribbon tied so prominently on the vase is reminiscent of the yellow ribbon worn upon the lapels and breasts of thousands who bear witness to their unyielding determination to demand a proper accounting of our missing. Remember. The lit candle reflects the light of hope which lives in our hearts to illuminate their way home, away from their captors to the open arms of a grateful nation. Remember. The Holy Bible represents the strength gained through faith in our country, founded as one nation under God to sustain those lost from our midst. Remember. A slice of lemon is on the bread plate to remind us of their bitter fate. Remember. A pile of salt denotes tears of our missing and their families who long for answers after decades of uncertainty. Remember. The glass is inverted. They cannot toast with us today. Remember. The chair is empty. They are not here. Remember. All of you who served with them and called them comrades, who depended upon their might and aid and relied upon them, for surely they have not forsaken you. Remember. Until the day they all come home. Remember.
Thank you, Art. Well, now to honor those that are with us today in that, I would like to call up our president, Lane Community College President, Dr. Margaret Hamilton.
So please join me in thanking our color guard for their presence of the colors, and our singer, our wonderful singer, Ann Ferguson, and our student for the moving rendition of the national anthem, and Art Morris for his description of our POW, MIA, KIA table. Thank you. I'd like to welcome everyone here to this very, very special recognition ceremony, and it's a day to honor those who have served. And I say this so humble, because you all do what I could never do, and I thank you. People serve in many ways, so at this time, I want to recognize our Board of Education, members who also serve in times of turmoil and good times. Rosie Pryor, Matt Eister, thank you for being here. Thank you for serving. And I want to invite any elected officials that are here today to please stand and be recognized. Did we miss anyone in the room? Well, we thank them for their service always. And most important, though, we're here to serve you, those of you who have served in the military, and to thank you all for your service. Would all of our veterans please stand, and would everyone else please join me in recognizing their service? Thank you, men and women who've served us well. So Lane Community College is very proud of our Maxwell Student Veterans Center. Lynn Chowdhury currently serves as our coordinator and our champion for our veterans. Stacy Vasquez and Sam Evans serve as VA certifying officiants, and we thank them so much. We're also here to host a proud chapter of our Student Veterans of America Center, and that would be Don Easton, and he's their faculty advisor, and then Art Morris is their chapter president. So could you two stand again, please? Thank you. The Maxwell Center, as you heard earlier, takes its name from World War II veteran Robert Dale Maxwell, who was awarded the Congressional Medal of Honor for conspicuous gallantry and intrepidity at risk of life about and beyond the call of duty for service September 7th, 1944. Robert Dale Maxwell taught in our advanced tech program back in the 60s, and he represents the best of what America stood for. Lane could not be more proud to name that center on behalf of this World War II veteran. Lane Community College was recently awarded a $100,000 grant from Oregon Department of Veterans Affairs to renovate this Maxwell Center. Today, over 300 student veterans study at Lane and use the center as a place to gather and to study, to attend workshops, and to participate in peer-to-peer mentoring programs. If you've not been to the center, I really do ask you, take a walk over and visit. It's enlightening, it's humbling to see everybody working together and feeling very comfortable and safe in this space. So at this time, I'd like to invite back Mr. Greg Holmes to the podium to introduce our student veteran speaker. Thank you.
Well, it's my honor to introduce Wesley Dix. He served 5 years in the United States Marines. He's currently a pre-med biology major, and he's looking to go back once he's completed his degree to serve in the armed forces. Welcome, Wes.
Well, good afternoon, everybody. My name is Wes. Like Greg said, I was in the Marine Corps for about 5 years. So my journey to Lane is a little bit different than most students, but probably pretty similar to other student veterans here. So I first graduated high school in 2011, and I went directly into college. I played lacrosse at the University of New Mexico for about a year and a half. Didn't go to class, didn't study, didn't do any of that. And eventually I didn't really know what I wanted to do. My father was in the Army and retired from the Army after 24 years. And I sort of wanted to pursue sort of similar path that he did. So with that being said, I wanted to be a little bit better than him, so I joined the Marine Corps. Now that, it's a toss-up. I had good times, bad times. I deployed to Iraq for 6 months with the 2nd Raider Battalion. That was also a good time, sort of saying. But I found a relationship with myself, most of all. I gained a bunch of skills that once I got out, I put use here at Lane. I went from a person that didn't have any discipline, didn't have any focus, to somebody that was extremely focused, dedicated, and really wanted to succeed. So my first year at Lane, I got all A's, and I ended the school year with a 4.2. Thank you very much. So after that, I sort of began my path on deciding on what I actually wanted to do with my life. So I looked back at my military career. I sort of thought about what I could do to help others. So I sort of found my way over to medicine. Now, I went to EMT school before I came out here. I'm originally from New Mexico. And I sort of fell in love with medicine. But the EMT school and being an EMT was just a jump off for me. I decided that I wanted to eventually go back into the service as a doctor, hopefully an orthopedic surgeon, and help those that have come back and not exactly the shape that they may have deployed as. So that's my eventual goal. And if anybody that's listening, whether a student or a student veteran, there is help both financially and non-financially. The Lane Foundation Scholarship, which I was awarded this previous year, or this year actually, is an amazing opportunity, and I really encourage everybody to apply and seek help. Also, the Maxwell Veteran Center is, I can't really describe how much it's helped me to get to the point that I am at now. Lynn Marie has helped me so much getting the help that I needed with the advisors, getting me sort of that rooting that I needed. So thank you very much for listening to my short and brief story. I'll turn it back over to Greg. Thank you.
Thanks, Wes. So I want to close with Douglas MacArthur's words here. It says, duty, honor, and country. Those three hallowed words reverently dictate what you ought to be, what you can be, what you will be. Thank you, Wes. Thank you, Art. Thank you for sharing today, Dr. Hamilton. And since 1973, there's no one that's been compelled to serve in our Army or in our military service. But currently we have over 180,000 each year that willingly join and to serve. And that's what we're here today to do, to honor those that have served, that are going to serve. We want you as Lane Community College, we want you to feel that we have solemn pride in your service and that we're grateful. So with that, I would like us to please stand as we retire our colors.
Right. Face. Present. On. Retire. Go. Detail. Shoulder. Palm. Ready. 2. Right. Face. Detail. 1. On. Over.
Thank you all for coming. For our veterans, our staff and students and faculty, there's going to be a lunch hosted in the Longhouse by Dr. Margaret Hamilton. We look forward to joining us. Thank you. Have a good day.